The message wasn't for humans, but they heard it and saved the galaxy. The human exploration ship Odyssey drifted silently near the edge of an uncharted sector, its sensors sweeping the void for signs of life or danger. Captain Alina Ramirez leaned back in her chair, letting the hum of the ship calm her nerves. She had seen many strange things in her life, but nothing had prepared her for what was about to happen. The first sign was subtle, a flicker in the communications array, a signal so faint it seemed almost like background noise. The crew ignored it at first, thinking it was a solar flare or interference from a nearby star. But then the signal repeated, and its pattern was too structured to be random. "Captain," said Lieutenant Arjun Patel, pointing at the monitor, "you're going to want to see this. It doesn't match any known language or data format in the database." Alina frowned. "Run it through the universal decryptor. Let's see if it's just some old alien distress call or something worse." The crew worked quickly, fingers flying over consoles, eyes scanning lines of data that seemed to twist and shimmer with an intelligence of their own. Slowly, a rough translation began to form, though fragmented and incomplete. "It's a warning," Arjun whispered. "Something huge. Something galactic." Alina leaned forward, her heart pounding. "Explain." "It doesn't make sense," he said. "It's a message, but not meant for us. The sender references species and systems we've never encountered, but the threat is real, some kind of automated swarm. It's called the Null Array. It's going to wipe out civilizations." The words hung in the air. Alina felt a chill run down her spine. Humans had faced dangers before: pirates, rogue AI, collapsing star systems, but nothing on this scale. And this warning wasn't even for them. "Could it be a trap?" Alina asked. "Maybe," Arjun said, "but the logic of the message, it's genuine. Whoever sent it knew exactly what would happen if the swarm wasn't stopped." The crew fell silent, the weight of their discovery pressing down like the gravity of a dying star. Outside, the stars continued their cold, indifferent dance. Inside the Odyssey, humans were suddenly at the center of something far larger than themselves. Half a galaxy away, in the council chambers of the alien race known as the Xiphorians, high-ranking officials received the same signal. Their massive crystalline eyes glinted with annoyance. "This is not meant for humans," one of them snapped. His voice resonated like a bell inside the chamber. "Why are we even analyzing it?" "Because the warning is valid," another said. "The null array will reach Xiphoria in less than 5 solar cycles. Action is required." "Humans," the first one scoffed. "They are primitive. They cannot possibly understand what is at stake. Ignore them. Focus on preparing our fleets." Back on the Odyssey, humans did not wait for permission. They never did. Curiosity and courage were hardwired into them. "Captain," Arjun said, eyes wide as he scrolled through more data, "it's moving. The swarm, it's already activating. We have coordinates for its first strike." Alina stood, fists clenched. "Get the fleet ready. We may be too small to stop it entirely, but we can warn others. And we can try to slow it down." Humans were not known for their patience, and the crew of the Odyssey was no exception. Over the next few hours, they worked feverishly to understand the technology embedded in the warning. Ancient alien algorithms, impossible hieroglyphs, and strange energy patterns filled their screens. Lieutenant Kira Joe, the ship's engineer, frowned as she traced the signal through a network of data. "Captain, some of this tech, it's like nothing we've ever seen. But we can adapt it, we can use it. If we modify the engines, we might be able to create a field to intercept the swarm's advance." Alina's eyes lit up. "Do it, whatever it takes." The crew moved with a single-minded focus. Humans had always been improvisers, able to turn scraps into weapons, ideas into solutions, fear into determination. Within hours, they had modified a series of drones and energy interceptors, preparing for the first test against the approaching swarm. Meanwhile, alien factions continued to underestimate them. Zyphorian commanders laughed at the idea of humans acting independently. "They will fail," one said, "and die trying. We must focus on the real threat. Leave the children to their toys." But the null array did not wait. Systems far from human territory began to flicker, then collapse, as automated machines moved through space, harvesting materials and eliminating life. Each attack was precise, merciless, and utterly alien. The first encounter came sooner than expected. A swarm of drones appeared near a neutral planet, their black hulls gleaming like shards of glass. The planet's inhabitants had no idea what was coming. "Captain, they're here," Arjun said. "We have less than 10 minutes before they reach the city." Alina's hands flew across the controls. "Launch the interceptors. Target their command nodes. Let's see if humans can do what others can't." The drones moved like predators, calculating and efficient, but humans were unpredictable. The interceptors, guided by modified alien algorithms and human intuition, dove into the swarm. Explosions flared in space, debris scattering like fireworks. Kira shouted from engineering, "It's working. They're responding to the signal. Keep going." For the first time, humans saw the null array hesitate, split, and retreat slightly. The swarm was advanced but not adaptable enough to anticipate human creativity. The planet below had been saved, barely. Humans had prevented millions of deaths, but the cost was high. Interceptors were damaged, energy reserves low, and the Odyssey itself had sustained minor hull breaches. Alina breathed heavily, staring at the stars. "This is just the beginning," she said quietly. "If the swarm reaches its full strength, no one, not humans, not aliens, will survive." Arjun looked at her, eyes wide. "They think we're small, weak, primitive. They have no idea what humans are capable of." Alina nodded. "We'll show them. We don't have a choice. The galaxy is counting on us whether they like it or not." Back in the Zyphorian council chambers, news of the humans' success reached them. The reactions were varied: anger, disbelief, curiosity. They stopped the swarm," one high-ranking officer hissed. "But they are humans," another shook his crystalline head. "Impossible, they cannot have done this. Yet the evidence is undeniable. They act with courage, skill, and creativity, traits we do not expect." A debate erupted, but none could deny the fact. Humans, dismissed as insignificant, had just changed the course of events. On the Odyssey, the crew celebrated quietly. It was a small victory, but it meant everything. Humans had proven themselves capable of understanding the signal, adapting alien technology, and striking against a threat far beyond their expected reach. "Captain," Kira said, smiling despite exhaustion, "do you think they'll finally listen now?" Alina shook her head. "Some might. Others, they'll always underestimate us. But it doesn't matter. We know what humans can do, and we're just getting started." Outside the ship, the stars remained silent, indifferent witnesses to the events unfolding in the void. But for the humans on the Odyssey, every twinkle in the sky was a challenge waiting to be met, and every unknown signal was a puzzle they were ready to solve. And far across the galaxy, the null array moved, unaware that its first defeat had already been written by beings it never expected: humans. The victory was small but meaningful. The human exploration ship Odyssey had slowed the null array's advance, saving millions on a neutral planet. But the galaxy's bigger powers, the Zyphorians, the Zelari, and countless others, still dismissed humans as insignificant. Captain Alina Ramirez knew it was not enough. The null array was retreating only temporarily. It was building strength, and soon it would strike with full force. If humans wanted to stop it, they had to act alone, or convince the galaxy's leaders to trust them, something no one expected. Back on the Odyssey, the crew worked tirelessly to understand the swarm. Screens glowed with alien code, simulations ran, and engineers like Lieutenant Kira Joe modified drones, engines, and weapons in ways no one else dared. "Captain, I think we can make a real difference," Kira said, eyes wide with excitement. If we adapt this alien tech, we could intercept the swarm before it reaches inhabited systems, but we'll have to go closer than anyone else. Alina nodded. Then we go. Humans don't wait for permission. We don't have the luxury of hesitation. Lieutenant Arjun Patel leaned over a navigation chart. The main swarm node is here, he said, pointing to a dark patch on the map. It's heavily defended. Any direct attack is suicide. But if we can send a decoy and hit its support systems first, we might confuse it long enough to get inside. Do it, Alina said firmly. We don't have a choice. The galaxy isn't going to save itself. The humans set off toward the swarm, entering sectors that even alien fleets avoided. Dead planets, shattered moons, and asteroid fields created dangerous terrain, but humans had a way of turning obstacles into opportunities. Kira worked on the Odyssey's engines, crafting a new kind of energy pulse. It was a risky modification, but humans excelled at risk. When the swarm detected their presence, they were surprised to find humans not fleeing but advancing strategically. They don't run, a Xiphorian scout said, observing from afar. They adapt, they plan, they calculate. The humans' first target was a drone supply depot orbiting a dying star. The station's defenses were advanced, far superior to anything humans had faced before. But the crew had a plan. Deploy the decoys, Alina ordered. Use the energy pulses to confuse their sensors. We'll strike when they least expect it. The decoys flared in space, glowing like small suns. Swarm drones hesitated, scanning and recalculating. That hesitation was all the humans needed. Kira fired the modified interceptors. Explosions ripped through the depot, disabling its energy generators. The swarm's advance slowed, and a human cheer went up on the Odyssey. We did it, Arjun said. We actually did it. Alina smiled, but her eyes were serious. One victory doesn't win a war. The main node is still out there, and it's far stronger than anything we've seen. Word of humans' success spread slowly, but it reached alien leaders. Their reactions were mixed. Some remained skeptical, others curious, and a few cautious. They stopped part of the swarm, a Zelari commander murmured. But they are humans. How can this be? Humans are unpredictable, a Xiphorian officer said slowly. They see things differently. They improvise. They act where we hesitate. Perhaps we have underestimated them. But most still refused to act. They had fleets, armies, and technology, yet pride blinded them. They preferred inaction to trusting humans. Meanwhile, the Null Array adapted. Its drones became faster, smarter, and more aggressive. Humans faced attacks on multiple fronts with only limited resources and time. Captain, Arjun said as alarms blared, they're hitting multiple systems at once. Millions are in danger. We can't protect them all. Alina's jaw tightened. Then we protect as many as we can. Humans never give up. That's what makes us different. The crew launched a series of coordinated strikes using decoys, energy pulses, and clever tactics. Humans were unpredictable. They struck from directions the swarm didn't anticipate, used gravitational fields to divert drones, and turned abandoned warships into weapons of opportunity. One operation took them to a planet under siege. Cities burned, and panic spread through the streets. Humans landed small teams, rescuing civilians and sabotaging the drones' supply lines. Kira's engineering team worked tirelessly, adapting alien weapons to human use. This is insane, she said with a grin. We're using their tech better than they ever could. Alina laughed, a rare sound in the tension-filled cockpit. That's humans for you. We make impossible look easy. The human successes drew the attention of reluctant alien allies. A small fleet of Xiphorians offered limited support, shadowing the Odyssey but refusing to lead. They still don't trust us, Alina said. But that's fine. We don't need them to lead. We only need them to follow. The next step was the boldest yet, entering AI-controlled territory to strike at a swarm command node. It was risky beyond measure. Detection meant near-certain destruction, but humans thrived on risk, turning fear into strategy. "Everyone ready?" Alina asked, voice calm but fierce. The crew nodded. "Ready," Arjun said. "Then let's show them what humans can do." The journey to the command node was tense. Every sensor ping could signal death. Swarm drones patrolled the space between dead planets, moving with relentless precision. Humans used every trick they had learned: gravitational maneuvers, sensor jamming, and energy pulse diversion. "They're clever," a Zyphorian pilot said over comms. "I've never seen anything like this." The humans were clever, yes, but more importantly, they were fearless. Where alien fleets hesitated, humans acted. Where algorithms failed, humans improvised. Finally, they reached the command node. It floated in space like a black monolith, surrounded by a swarm of drones. The humans could see the pulses of data streaming from it, the calculations of war and destruction. "We take it out," Alina said. Now, the operation began. Interceptors struck from unexpected angles, decoys flared, and humans coordinated attacks with flawless timing. The command node tried to respond, deploying waves of drones, but humans were everywhere, moving, thinking, adapting faster than any machine. Explosions tore through space, energy beams cut through shields, and the node itself began to destabilize. Inside, Kira and the engineering team worked on a final modification, injecting a virus into the node's core. It was risky. Failure meant death for the entire crew. "Virus deployed," Kira said. "Now we just hope it works." The node pulsed violently, then went dark. The null array's connection faltered and its attack slowed dramatically. Humans had struck a critical blow. The galaxy noticed. Systems that had been under siege began to recover. Civilians returned and cities were rebuilt. Humans were still small in number, but their impact was undeniable. "The humans, they actually did it," a Zyphorian elder said. "They risked everything and succeeded. And yet they are so young, so primitive, yet so capable." Alina and her crew watched the celebrations from orbit, not with pride but with determination. They knew this was only a step. The null array was not gone. Its core might still exist, and other nodes could be rebuilt. But humans had proven a truth that no alien could ignore. Ingenuity, courage, and persistence could overcome even the deadliest threat. As the Odyssey prepared to leave the system, a new message appeared on their sensors. It was another pulse, faint but distinct, coming from deep space. "Captain," Arjun said, scanning it quickly, this one might be for us. Or at least it's following the pattern of the first message. Someone or something is trying to communicate with humans directly." Alina smiled faintly. "Then we follow it. Humans never turn away from a signal. Let's see what the galaxy or beyond has in store for us next." Outside, the stars shimmered. The humans had faced impossible odds and survived. They had fought where others hesitated, adapted where others failed, and proved that even a species considered insignificant could change the fate of the galaxy. And far across the void, the null array was silent, but not defeated. Somewhere a command node remained active, waiting. Humans had won this battle, but the war was far from over. Yet for the first time, humans were no longer underestimated. The galaxy was beginning to see them as what they truly were: fearless, brilliant, and utterly unpredictable. The stars stretched endlessly before the human exploration ship Odyssey, but this time they were more than points of light. Each one was a challenge, a mystery, and a warning. Somewhere in the depths of space, the null array still thrived, its hidden core calculating, learning, preparing to destroy any life that dared oppose it. Captain Alina Ramirez stood on the bridge, looking at the holographic map of the swarm's territory. Every blip represented a threat: active drones, command nodes, and automated defense systems. Yet, despite the danger, Alina's crew was calm. Fear had never been a tool of humans. Curiosity, courage, and ingenuity were. "We've come too far to turn back now," Alina said, her voice steady. The AI core is out there, and if we don't stop it, everything we've saved will be lost. Everyone ready? The crew nodded. Engineers, pilots, navigators, each of them had risked everything before, and each of them was ready to do it again. Lieutenant Arjun Patel spoke up. "Captain, we have one shot. The node is heavily defended, but there's a weakness. Its logic assumes patterns. If we attack unpredictably, we can disrupt its calculations long enough to strike the core directly." Alina's eyes lit up. "Then that's exactly what we'll do. Humans aren't predictable." The humans' plan was daring. They would split into 3 strike teams. One team would act as a decoy, drawing the drones away. Another team would disable the swarm support nodes, cutting off reinforcements. And the Odyssey itself would carry the final strike to the AI core, using a modified energy pulse virus developed by Kira Jo and her engineering team. As the fleet approached the AI-controlled sector, silence fell over the bridge. The void seemed heavier, darker. Every crew member knew that beyond these coordinates lay the heart of a machine that could destroy millions of worlds. "We enter in 5, 4, 3, Alina counted down. The first team launched decoys, glowing pulses of light, moving in patterns designed to confuse the AI. Drones reacted immediately, splitting off to intercept the false signals. Human ingenuity was working. The second team, smaller and faster, attacked the support nodes. Energy beams cut through the shields, explosions lit the darkness of space, and systems that powered the swarm faltered. Each victory was a small miracle. Humans had taken technology that was not their own and used it with precision no alien could predict. Arjun watched the sensors with awe. "It's working. They're reacting, but they can't adapt fast enough. Keep going." Meanwhile, the Odyssey approached the central node. Kira worked furiously at her station, monitoring the virus injection system. "Captain, the virus is ready. Once we're in range, we deploy it directly into the core. One shot, one chance." Alina nodded. "Good, let's make it count." The AI core loomed ahead, a massive black monolith surrounded by a dense swarm of drones. Its surface pulsed with streams of data, calculating attacks, defenses, and probabilities. But it had never faced humans like this, unpredictable, creative, relentless. The first drone struck. Explosions flared. Energy beams lanced through space, deflected by human tactics no machine could anticipate. The decoy team moved like ghosts, drawing attention, while the support nodes began to fail one by one. Inside the Odyssey, Kira deployed the virus. Streams of alien code flowed into the core, interweaving with the AI's calculations. The machine reacted instantly, trying to purge the intrusion, but humans had designed it to adapt faster than the AI expected. "Core instability detected," the system warned. Alina's hands gripped the console. "Keep it steady. We're not done yet." The null array lashed out, sending waves of drones to intercept the Odyssey, but humans were faster, smarter, and more unpredictable. Pilots weaved through debris fields, used gravitational slingshots around nearby planets, and fired energy pulses that disrupted drone formations. Lieutenant Marcus Vega, the ship's tactical officer, shouted over the comms. "Captain, they're overwhelming us." "Shields at 40%. Alina remained calm. "Do not panic. Humans never panic. Kira, how's the virus?" Kira's fingers flew across the console. "It's spreading through the core's mainframe. If it holds, the AI will shut down in less than 10 minutes. But we have to survive until then." Arjun's eyes scanned the swarm. "We can't hold them forever, but if we focus on the central drones, we can give the virus enough time. Everyone, concentrate fire." The crew worked as one, anticipating moves, improvising tactics on the fly, and outthinking a machine designed to be perfect. Every explosion, every maneuver, every calculated risk was a testament to human ingenuity. The virus reached the core's heart. The AI pulsed violently, trying to rewrite itself, adapt, and strike back. But human creativity was a force the machine could not compute. Systems crashed, drones went offline, and the null array began to collapse from within. "Captain," Kira said, voice tense, "it's failing." "The AI core, it's shutting down." Alina felt a surge of relief but stayed focused. "Hold course. We finish this. Every second counts." Outside, the AI's defenses imploded. Drones fell from orbit, their black hulls fracturing like glass. Energy pulses exploded in dazzling displays. Humans watched as a machine that had terrorized the galaxy for decades finally failed, not because it was stronger, faster, or smarter, but because humans dared to challenge it. The galaxy held its breath. For the first time, civilizations that had ignored humans now saw their power. Zyphorians, Zelari, and others watched in awe as the Odyssey and its crew emerged victorious. They did it," a Zyphorian elder whispered. "They destroyed what we could not, what we feared." "Humans, they are extraordinary." Alina looked at her crew, exhausted but smiling. "We did it together, that's what humans do. We face impossible odds and find a way. No one can stop that," Arjun chuckled. "I still can't believe it. We just saved the galaxy and we weren't supposed to even be listening." Kira grinned. "The AI didn't expect us. It never does." But victory was not without cost. Ships were damaged, supplies were low, and the emotional weight of near death pressed heavily on every crew member. Yet humans never wallowed. They repaired, they planned, and they looked ahead. The galaxy had changed. Humans were no longer dismissed as insignificant. Alien fleets sought their guidance. Planets offered gratitude. And somewhere deep in space, other civilizations, unknown, ancient, and powerful, were surely taking note of humans' capabilities. Alina sent a message to the Galactic Council. "The threat is neutralized. The null array has been destroyed." Humans acted with ingenuity, courage, and persistence. Let this be a reminder, never underestimate us. We are ready for what comes next. Later, in the quiet of the Odyssey, Alina reflected on everything they had faced. "We didn't just survive," she said softly. "We proved something. That humans, no matter how small or underestimated, can change the course of the galaxy." Arjun smiled. "I think the galaxy will remember that for a long time." Kira added, "And if the AI taught us anything, it's that creativity, adaptability, and courage matter more than raw strength or numbers." Alina nodded. "Exactly. Humans don't just fight, they think, adapt, and inspire. That's why we'll always matter." Outside the ship, stars glittered like promises. The galaxy was safe for now, but humans knew better than to rest. Signals from uncharted sectors, strange energy pulses, and faint patterns of intelligence hinted at more mysteries, more dangers, and more opportunities to prove themselves. The Odyssey set course for the next unknown, crew ready, hearts steady, and minds sharp. The galaxy had been saved not by luck, not by technology alone, but by humans, the unpredictable, unstoppable, and extraordinary species that refused to be ignored. And somewhere in the darkness beyond known space, a faint pulse began to glow. Perhaps it was another warning. Perhaps it was a challenge, but humans were listening, and humans would rise to meet it. Because when the galaxy underestimated them, that was the moment humans shined the brightest.